Tribal Council went as expected. Brett went out, which was not the plan, but at least it's not too bad because me and Winter did make our connection with Connor and Walter before the vote, just in case if, things didn't go our way. But since they didn't, we could have that as a backup plan. Well, that didn't go well. No, it didn't. But at least we have our backup plan. Yeah, I guess, but I'm just kind of worried. About what? About Connor. He's kind of close with Heather, and after what he did for her when Frank went out, he played the idol on her. Oh yeah, did not factor that into the plan. So, with Brett gone, me and Scarlett have to go down this route of working with Connor and Walter to hopefully take out Moose and Heather. But here's the problem. And it's the fact that if we end up going into a situation where Moose is immune, then that means we have to get them both to vote for Heather. Now, that wouldn't be the problem, because I don't think Walter would be against it. I think Connor would, because why else would he play the idol for Heather at the Frank vote? Those two seem kind of close. I don't know. I guess we'll find out if it does come down to it, but I truly hope it doesn't, because I would much rather get rid of Moose than Heather. Well, Moose, thanks for sticking with us. Yeah, of course. So, is the plan just to get rid of Scarlett and Winter? Looks like it. Do you guys have a preference who goes? I think Scarlett's a more dangerous player compared to Winter. Winter's neither that physical nor smart, and Scarlett kind of seems a bit more physical and smart, so I feel like Scarlett's the better option. Alright, makes sense. Tribal Council came around and I decided to vote off Brett over Heather for two reasons. Number one's more, pretty self-explanatory. He kept me away from Heather and prevented me from considering my options, and that's just not something you do to someone who's in the middle. And number two, I feel like the game would definitely be more flipped on its head with him out of the game than Heather. Because I don't see Winter or Scarlett just backing down and giving up. Whereas with, Walter and Connor, if Heather wins, I don't know what they would have done. They probably would have tried and get the other three against me, and would have they succeeded? Possibly, because I probably would have had a lesser chance at beating Brett in a challenge, and they could have pulled it off. So I feel like logically this was the right call. How do you still feel? About what? About the deal we made with Scarlett and Winter. I still want to do it. We can't just sit on our butts and not make a move, because if we don't make a move, then what do we have on our resumes at the end? We got nothing, really. I guess, but I don't know. I feel like we still had enough social connections. Yeah, but social connections can only get you so far, and who on the jury would vote for us if we're up against really any of them? I don't know, dude. So Walter's still considering this offer from Winter and Scarlett, and that doesn't really sit well with me, because as much as we need a solid, overall game, and we need a move on our resume in order to possibly win this thing, I don't really feel good about wanting to betray Moose or Heather. They're with us, whereas Scarlett and Winter are only making this deal probably because they're desperate to make a move and that they're not in the best spot. The thing I'm worried about those two is that I feel like they're only doing this out of desperation for, a big move, because with Brett gone, they're obviously coming to us to try and make this move, and if we happen to end up going into the end with one of them, then what? The whole move on either Heather or Moose, depending on who ends up going this round, is going to be because of those two and not really from us. Well, we'd be aiding in their, plan, and if we didn't, then, they wouldn't have gotten their way, so I don't see the problem. All I'm saying is that this is more of their move than our move. I see where Connor's coming from. To some extent, I understand what he's trying to say to me, But on the other hand, I still want to try and make this move happen. And there's two reasons for that. Because, number one, if I don't, then, well, we've got nothing on our resumes and we're probably not going to win. And number two, I mean, it's not really going to be their move. Sure, they orchestrated it, but we're the ones who decided whether their plan is going to work or not. If we don't end up voting in their favor, then they end up losing their move just like that. But I would want something interesting to happen because, not gonna lie, things have been moving pretty steadily, but I want something big to happen. Hey, you two. Oh, hey, Scarlet. Hey, Winter. So, you two still down with the deal? Yeah, sure. What are we thinking, though? Well, we'll discuss that after the challenge. We don't want to end up, coming up with a plan and have it go to waste because one of them ends up winning immunity. Well, when Tribal does come around, I know I'm going to be making a dance with the devil because there's a possibility that it won't work out, and that's because I kind of considered what Winter said early on prior to us coming up to Connor and Walter. And that's the possibility that one of them will consider the offer, but the other one might be more hesitant. And yeah, do I think that might happen? Maybe, but if a tie does happen, then, well, I guess we're just gonna have to try one last-ditch effort to really make sure I get what I want. Because what I want is something big to happen. Thanks for saving me, Moose. Yeah, of course, Heather. Sorry we couldn't talk before the vote. It's just that Brett was preventing me from talking to you because he kept following me everywhere I went. I guess I can see that, and I overheard what he said to you about not talking to me, so, yeah, I think you did make the right choice. I'm not trying to be biased here, because if, it went the other way, I wouldn't be here. Yeah, I guess. So me and Moose are good, and with us being good, we should be able to have the majority with Connor and Walter. So, yeah, I don't know where I'm really going with this, but I'm just grateful that I'm still here, because if I was gone, then, well, I'd be rather sad. I gotta ask you something, though. What is it? Would have you thought anything different of me if I did end up writing your name down at that vote? In all honesty, Moose, no. Really? No, because I know this is just a game, and yes, it's a game for $1 million, but at the end of the day, I'm just here to play the game and have fun. And that's kind of the point of a game, is just to have fun. Yes, you get to reap the rewards by the end, but, I much rather have fun than end up winning the game in something that isn't fun. I guess. What a righteous answer. Thanks. Do you get the feeling that something wary's happening? I guess, because here's the thing. I know that Scarlet and Winter are not just gonna back down and just willingly take being eliminated 6th and 5th. And they haven't talked to us. I talked to them a little bit about why I made the decision I did. But yeah, aside from that, they just haven't really talked to me anymore. And I can't help but think if they are gonna talk to Walter and Connor. I already said it before, and I'm sorry I'm sounding like a broken record, but as I said, I know that Winter and Scarlet are not just gonna back down and accept being eliminated next. They aren't. Instead, they're gonna try their best to try and make a move and get off of the bottom. So, in order to do that, they'd have to talk to people. And, well, they only talked to me a tiny bit after the vote, but after that, they haven't spoke to me once. And I can't help but think if they're intentionally avoiding me and Heather and are plotting something with the other two guys. Well, that's rather scary. Yeah, it is. So in order to do that, we gotta, try and make sure Walter and Connor will stick with us. I know Connor will because I'm good with Connor. Walter is a different story, though. I'm really hoping that this is just Moose being paranoid and, getting kind of wary of Scarlet and Winter. in not actual reality, but there's a strong feeling that it is possibly going to happen. So, in case if it does, we gotta make sure we talk to those two, but not right now because the challenge is about to start in the next 5 minutes. Welcome to today's immunity challenge. For this challenge, each of you will step up one by one and toss this ball into this basket. If you succeed, then you move on to the next round. But if you fail, you're out of the challenge. The person who manages to score the ball into the basket every single time till everybody is eliminated will win immunity and will be safe from the vote. Everyone else has a chance of being voted off. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Scarlet is going first. Let's see how she does. And she makes it. She moves on. Connor's going up next. Let's see how he does. And he goes off the edge, meaning he's out of this challenge. Moose is going. And Moose makes it. Heather's up next. Let's see how she does. She also makes it. 2 more left. Winter is going. And she also makes it. Walter is the last one to go. Let's see if he'll make it. And he goes off the edge as well. He's out of this challenge as well. After the first round, 4 people advance, while Connor and Walter are out. So, we begin the second round. Let's see how Scarlet does. Her throw makes it. Moose is up next, hoping to make it to move on to the next round. Let's see if he has it. And he does. Heather is ready. She's beginning to throw. Let's see if she has it. Yes, she does. Winter is the last one up. Let's see if she can make it as well and go through this round without anyone being eliminated. Nope, she goes over. So Winter is out. Alright, for this one we'll increase the difficulty. We've gotten rid of the gray barriers, making the basket a little more likely for you to miss. Alright, let's let the third round commence. Scarlet, you're first to try. Scarlet's ready. Let's see if she can make it. She can. Moose is now ready. He's lining his shot. Let's see if it will pay off. It does. If Heather makes it, then we'll have to upgrade the difficulty. But let's see if she can do it. She can. So for the next round, we'll up the difficulty even more. Alright, we have made round 4 even harder. The basket and the platform are further away from each other, and the hole within the basket is a little smaller. Let's see how you guys handle this one. Scarlet's ready. Let's see how she does. Nope. She missed, meaning she's out of this challenge. Moose is ready to go. Let's see how he'll do. He makes it, meaning if Heather also makes it, it will be at least one last battle between her and Moose. But if she fails, then that means that Moose will win immunity. This is the possible final throw. This throw decides the fate of this challenge. Heather's throw misses, meaning Moose has won immunity for the second time in a row. Congratulations, Moose, on winning another immunity challenge. You're safe from the vote. As for everybody else, tribal council tonight, and someone will be the 12th person voted off and the 5th member of our jury. Won't be you. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. We'll see you guys tonight. I'm grateful to be immune yet again. Though, if my suspicions are right, then that means Heather could be picking up votes. Well, great job, Moose. Thanks, Heather, but I'm kind of worried now. Yeah, because you're immune, I'm vulnerable, and I'm pretty sure that side is possibly gonna try and get me out. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Moose winning, but I do because if it's me or him possibly picking up votes from that side, then him winning means I'm the target. So I gotta just try everything I can to prevent Walter and Connor from accepting the deal that Winter and Scarlet had. Well, it kinda sucks that Moose won. Yeah, it does. I would have loved to take him out, but I guess that means we have to settle on voting off Heather. Alright then. So, yeah, 4 votes and she's done. What if she has the idol? I highly doubt it because you played the idol already. Here's the thing. I don't want to go to Rocks. I certainly don't. But I don't want Heather to go home. I really don't. Because I would feel just horrible if she ends up going home because of me. So I'm just trying to dig up any kind of excuse, but I don't know if I can because everyone else who isn't immune is here. But the merge idol could still be out there. What if Heather ends up finding it? I guess we never factor that in. I mean, I haven't heard anything about a merge idol, but there is a possibility it could be out there. I feel like even if she does have it, I feel like we have a way to counter that. In all honesty, if I want this plan to work efficiently, I can if I want to, because I still have my hidden immunity idol, so I could use it on any of this group of 4. Well, probably not on Connor, because I don't see Heather or Moose voting for him. I don't see if they have a reason to vote off Winter or Walter, so therefore, I would probably be forcing myself to play the idol on myself at tonight's tribal, to guarantee that Heather goes. But here's the thing. If I end up using it and I didn't have to, then, well, I waste it and I go into the final 5 risking being eliminated. Or I could hang on to it and just convince Connor not to go to Rocks. I don't know which one I'm gonna do, but I feel like when I get to tribal and just sit down, I'll just decide if I want to use it or not. Scarlet, what if Connor doesn't want to go through with the plan? Well, then that will suck, but at least we'll have a counterattack. How so? Remember my idol? Oh, yeah, Ty did tell us about it. Yeah. So we can just use that if we want to tonight. Question is if we even want to. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, I'm not the one with the idol, so I don't really care if you use it or not. Hey guys. Oh, hey Heather, hey Moose. What's up? We want to see what you two are thinking. Well, we haven't talked in a bit, so I guess we might as well continue our deal. You guys still want Scarlet gone? Yeah, we do. I feel like she's still just an overall bigger threat than Winter. Yeah, so, you two down with it? Sure. The thing is, it actually would benefit my game to have Heather go. Now, of course, I'm not gonna vote for her, because I'm not a dingus. However, if Connor and Walter don't vote with me, then I guess it won't be the worst thing in the world, because Heather would be out, and I don't see anyone else beating me in challenges. And also, I'm in goods with Heather, so I feel like if they end up voting off Heather, it would be bad for their game and more of a benefit for me. But I'd much rather not vote for Heather and rather, keep her on my side for tonight. But in all honesty, if she ends up going out, it won't be the worst thing in the world. I mean, yes, I wouldn't have anyone on my side, but I mean, I don't see them beating me in a challenge. Unless if it has to do with like a strategic challenge, then maybe I'd have to worry. But in case of that does happen, I'd have to probably have to go looking for the idol as long as it's still out there. So Connor, what do you think? Dude, I don't know, man. I don't really want to vote Heather. Yeah, but at the same time, we need to make this move. I know, but it's like, what if Heather or Moose have that, you know, the merge idol? Well, it's possible. We just gotta, you know, take a gamble and hope they have nothing. And if they don't, then, well, that's great for us. But if they do, then, well, I guess we aren't on the chopping block, at least. I do think they're being honest about voting off Scarlet. Yeah, I guess. I really hope Connor does not screw this up, because if he ends up voting with, Heather and Moose, then it's gonna tie, and oh boy, there's gonna be a lot of problems at Tribal. I am so beyond conflicted. I don't want to have to eliminate Heather, because if I eliminate Heather, then that's not gonna be good for me. If, you know, I built up my relationship with her, and if I just break it, and she goes to the jury upset with me, then that's not a good look for me. But if I don't vote with Walter, Scarlet, and Winter, it's just gonna tie. And I don't really want to go out because of rocks. This has just not been the round for me at all. This has just not been my round, so I just gotta get past this round, and after I do, hopefully I can just move forward. Welcome to yet another Tribal Council. Before we begin, we'll bring in the members of our jury. Jacqueline, Luke, Frank, and Brett voted out the last Tribal Council. So, Moose, you're immune yet again going into the final 5. How are you feeling? Well, I'm feeling really good, Jeff. And if everything goes well tonight, hopefully I should be able to make it to the end, and hopefully I can. So, Heather, you came close to winning today's challenge. Are you feeling the pressure? I'm definitely feeling a whole lot of pressure, Jeff. I feel like with Moose winning, I'm probably looked upon as one of the bigger threats here, so it could be my turn to go, but I'm just hoping it's not. So, Walter, how complicated is tonight's vote? Well, Jeff, it's very complicated. You obviously are going to have to take into consideration relationships with people, but at the end of the day, you just gotta do what you gotta do to press forward in this game. Alright, with that said, it's time to vote. Winter, you'll start us off. God, what to do? Hopefully it's a majority on you or it ties. If not, I'm scared for my life. Heather, I swear if tonight doesn't go to plan, then, well, I'm not gonna be a happy camper. I'll go tally the votes. Alright, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now be the time to do so. Jeff? Yes? Give me a moment. You sure he's good? I don't know. Oh. Okay, Jeff. Never mind. Okay then. I'll read the votes. First vote. Scarlet. Next vote. Heather. That's 1 vote Scarlet, 1 vote Heather. Third vote. Heather. That's 2 votes Heather, 1 vote Scarlet. Scarlet. That's 2 votes Heather, 2 votes Scarlet, 2 votes left. The 5th vote. Heather. That's 3 votes Heather, 2 votes Scarlet, 1 vote left. The final vote. Twelfth person voted out. Heather. Heather, that's 4 votes. That's enough for tonight. You need to bring me your torch. You may have won this battle, but you have not won this war. Well, I beg to differ. Heather, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Well then, probably the most prolonged yet dramatic tribal councils I've sat through, but yet you have made it to the final 5. You have a few more days left in this game, so keep fighting. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. Good night. Well, I am rather sad about leaving the game the way I did. To watch my closest ally, who had my back the entire game and even played an idol on me, just double-cross me. It's pretty hard to stomach, but at the end of the day, it's just a game, and I will hold no grudges against anybody who voted for me, against me, or otherwise, because at the end of the day, I will still leave with my head held high and say that this is one of the, if not the, greatest experiences I have ever done in my entire life. Give it a shot.